Choosing a robot vacuum these days can be dizzying. There are dozens of different models from a dozen different brands.
One of the newest is the Roborock Q5 Pro Plus, and in this hands-on review, I'll take a look at the key features of this bot, what you can expect it to do and what it can't, and I'll put it through my regular battery of cleaning tests to see how well it actually performs, including what happened when this happened. Worth noting is that this bot is missing some of the more advanced features, and these may be deal breakers for you, so stay tuned to learn more about them. I'll wrap things up by sharing the pros and the cons and letting you know if I think I can recommend this robot vacuum and mop to you.
What do you get with the Roborock Q5 Pro Plus? In a nutshell, you're getting an all-in-one robot vacuum and mopping device that also comes with an auto-emptying base station. The robot is capable of either vacuuming or mopping or doing both at the same time. Once it's cleaned your house, it will return to its base station and empty out the onboard dustbin into a sealed bag. You can, of course, schedule it to clean whenever you want, too.
While this is a smart and capable robot, it is more on the budget to mid-range end of the spectrum. At about $6.99 US and often found marked down to a lower price, you won't find as many bells and whistles as some of Roborock's higher-end devices like the Q Revo or the S8 Pro Ultra, both of which I've reviewed here in my home.
At this point, it might be helpful to some of you to point out what this particular floor bot does not have, not to mark the Q5 Pro Plus down for any of this, but just to say if these are features you think you need, you can shop some of Roborock's more expensive robots with more advanced features. Here, there is no mop self-cleaning or pad washing. There's no mop scrubbing action. It's missing mop lifting, so you need to remove the mopping plate to vacuum carpets. The water flow isn't adjustable, and there is no adjustable suction. To understand some of the helpful features of this robot that you might like, let's flip it over. On the underside, you'll find the removable mopping plate. The design of this is actually rather clever. It holds a removable, washable microfiber mopping pad, and the plate itself also holds a small clean water tank, which will supply the water for the mopping. You'll also see a set of dual rubber beater brushes. In theory, this should help you pick up more dirt and debris in a single pass.
These two brushes, combined with a high level of suction power at 5,500 pascals, should mean this budget bot can still pack a punch. We'll find out for sure in my cleaning tests.
There is also a rather large onboard dustbin capable of holding about 770 milliliters worth of dirt. This is actually quite a bit and on the large size for your average robot vacuum, which should mean it's able to keep cleaning for longer without needing to go back to its charging station and empty the bin. This is a good time to touch on the charging and auto-empty station. Dubbed the Rock Dock, the Q5 Pro Plus will recharge its batteries here anytime it's not cleaning and empty the dustbin into that sealed dust bag. While the auto-emptying is on the louder side and you can't adjust the automatic frequency or timing, you can request an empty cycle at any time you would like inside the app. When you get your new robot, you'll need to download the Roborock app to get things set up. For the most part, this happens in minutes with just a few clicks.
As a short aside, I did recently struggle with getting my Apple iPhone to connect to my Roborock vacuum. So if you are also struggling with this too, I recommend reaching out to Roborock's customer service team. I ended up using another Android phone I had with me to connect, and then things worked perfectly. Once you have the robot connected to your home's Wi-Fi network, you'll want to send it out on a mapping run. The robot is going to use LiDAR to draw a very accurate floor plan of your house. Now, once you have that map, you can go in and label rooms and adjust boundaries so that you can use targeted room cleaning or even schedule certain rooms to be cleaned on certain days. The mapping run takes just a few minutes, and it was actually really accurate for me after just the first trip around the house.
Now let's get to the cleaning performance. Whenever I test out a robot vacuum, I run each one through the same series of tests. I'll get it to clean day-to-day dirt for a few days, then I lay some more targeted and tougher spills for it. I'll sprinkle finer things like flour or cornmeal, middle-sized bits like rice or oatmeal, and larger cracker pieces on both carpet and hard floors to see how well it cleans. When it comes to the mopping, I'll spill small amounts of liquid and see how the mopping pad fares. Now, it may be worth pointing out here there is no suction to the mop, so you are limited to what the pad can absorb, meaning you should absolutely wipe up larger spills before the robot gets to them. I can say the Q5 Pro Plus was actually kind of intermittent when it came to the vacuuming. Sometimes it got about 80% of debris, other times it was more like 60%. It also seemed to struggle with finer spills on carpets and with cleaning around edges like the side of a rug. The suction doesn't seem to be very strong here, and I think that shows in what you can still see on the rugs after it was finished. I could schedule a double cleaning pass of the space, but as is, this is kind of disappointing. As a quick aside, I was actually surprised at how well this robot was able to untangle itself from any trouble. I took a video of one particular snag it got itself caught up on involving our dog's water area and a speaker cord. After twisting itself up in what seemed like the ultimate bondage moment, it did a pirouette, disentangled itself, and went right back to work. Nice.
When it comes to the mopping, I think it's important to adjust any expectations you might have around floor washing with this robot. The mop lacks any kind of scrubbing action, and the water flow is not adjustable, meaning you're just getting a light wipe down alongside your vacuuming.
While the mop will absorb small liquid spills, the damp cloth is simply being dragged over the floor, so in my opinion what you're getting here is more of a light dusting wipe and less of a hearty floor mopping. It was able to mop up smaller wet spills easily enough. When it came to the dried on spills though, it only got about 50 to 60% of the tougher stuff, so while it might be helpful, it's not going to power away those coffee drips or dishwasher dribbles. If you are mopping a particularly muddy or dirty area, it will pay to remove the cloth and give it a good rinse or a wash afterwards so the cloth doesn't get nasty.
The other important consideration for some of you out there is going to be that there is no mop lifting on this particular robot, meaning if it goes into a carpeted area, it is bringing the mopping plate along for the ride, potentially moistening your carpets or rugs. Now, the simple fix for this is to just remove the mopping plate if it's going to be a problem for you, but this may be an imperfect solution when it comes to the mopping, since there also doesn't appear to be any way to create a no-go zone when the mopping plate is attached.
I let the robot roll over my rugs with its mopping plate on, and I can say that on both flatter rugs and even plusher carpets, it certainly wasn't soaking them. At worst, it was a light bit of dampness that dried really quickly.
So unless you have extremely delicate or really special carpets or rugs, the mopping plate remaining attached shouldn't actually be too much of an issue.
One last caveat, the small water tank holds only a few ounces, covering about 500 square feet or 50 square meters, so if you're hoping for a dusting wipe on larger spaces, you will definitely have to refill partway through.
Or you could simply use the app's scheduling feature to handle certain rooms on certain days to ensure the Q5 Pro Plus cleans with a full tank of water. You can, by the way, also add cleaning solution to the mopping tank if you want a boosted clean. Roborock, of course, prefers you use their own cleaner for this, but anything gentle should be okay.
With a 4-hour maximum runtime or 240 minutes from its 5200 mAh battery, this robot should have more than plenty of juice to clean even larger spaces. I can confirm it was easily able to clean all 1,000 square feet of my main floor on a single charge. Overall, though, this is not my favorite of the Roborock devices. Let's go over the pros and cons to see why. On the pro side, the vacuum has a very long runtime. The large dust bin also means it'll clean for longer without heading back to its base station. The auto empty dock is a must-have, and it means less hands-on maintenance for you. I found the setup process to be really easy, and the mapping is quick and extremely accurate. I also love I can schedule the robot on a daily or weekly basis and even dial in different rooms to be cleaned on different days.
When it comes to the downsides, there are a few things I'll point out because I think they might turn some of you off, but to be clear, they're not traditional downsides. I'm not going to mark this robot down a whole lot because of them, since if any of these features are must-haves for you, you can absolutely find them in another more robust Roborock model.
To recap, the mop doesn't lift off carpeted surfaces, the water flow is not adjustable, and the obstacle avoidance is not as pronounced as some more pro models, but it can get itself out of trouble. The mop also doesn't scrub, it's just designed for a light wipe of your floors after vacuuming. The small water tank also means any mopping that does get done is limited to about 500 square feet at a time. The biggest downsides for me were the lackluster suction and half-hearted vacuum performance.
The trade-off for the features you're not getting comes in the price. This is a far more affordable bot than the flagship models sold by Roborock or even other manufacturers. That means this mid to lower priced robot will still give you a lot of great features at a more affordable cost. Roborock Q5 Pro Plus sells for about $699 US. Now, if you do want to see what you get from a more expensive or fancier model, check out my reviews of the Roborock Q Revo or the S8 Pro Ultra right now.